themselves. Not me. I cannot be their mouth. How are you doing? Tell Wangoi. And we are only seeing a part of your face. Ah, now you are talking.
Okay. So the position.
No, there's no problem. Oh, so we need to take a deep breath. I've been talking marathon for an hour, running through this thing, you know. And as I was reviewing this morning, I remembered what we were discussing yesterday. So welcome to this session. The objective of this session, I know we are tired, but I hope it will give you energy as we start to talk about where we want to go together next. An offer is something, we call it an offer, but it is an opportunity to correct what we didn't hear yesterday. And so what I'm going to be sharing is something that kept me awake a lot of the night. Not because it was so hard, but because I was trying to combine the things that you told me, because it's not a straight line here, you know, but I really strongly feel that we have what we need in the room to identify a starting point. I also wanted to say that you will notice when we are doing coaching, every time we are reading the topic, the current way, the new way, in case during the 2 or 3 weeks when you are not there, you changed you think we should change something. So this is developmental, and but it will lose that thing if the 8 year dictates the road. But when I come to coaching, I hope I'm different. I joke about myself, but this thing has actually transformed me, this coaching thing. And so this is about you. And as I said the other day, I want to assist you, if I can, so that we can go together. And after yesterday, I felt so encouraged because we are starting at a good place. And that's a good place to begin. So it's going to be back and forth until we agree on what it is that we are saying. I don't have any final word here. I want you to feel it belongs to you. I want you to own this thing, because you see, what we agree on here is what you are going to be doing in your office. And I don't come there, I am not there, and nobody is supervising whether you are doing it or not doing it. And that is why, because we also have, I think here we have 6 or 7 personality types. You see different things differently, but our effort is to try and find a common ground. And that doesn't just go one way, but goes the different ways. So I really hope you can, as the Americans say, go to town and show up. You know, tell us what stuff you are made of. Africans don't know how to show up, but I'm really show off. But the American blood, maybe it is 90% about showing off, so they can tamper that down. But we also need to be really, you know, it took me a long time to prepare this thing because there's so much material in the thing, but it gave me such joy. I just felt like, yeah, we need to do this, you know. So preamble is that we have all the types. It is the willingness for transformation that is going to make us go. So anybody who wants to say something before now I start to talk about what I found, or what I think I found, that you can influence? Shall I start? Okay. So, the real hardship here about what I was trying to do last night stems from the fact that yesterday, I hope it was clear, and I know you have a very sound program. So that is the good news. the other growth news is how many of you have been GRIC for more than a year? 1, 2. So, you have been there for how long? Huh? About a year. And Lillian? 3 years, about 3 years. And Sam?
Going to 4 years now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you?
2 years, going to 2 years.
Going to 2 years. So that was the first thing that struck me when I looked at the report from Peter that had written about about GRIC. And so the preamble is, what you have done is next to a miracle in terms of delivery. So that is really quite something. And then I have wondered, last night I was really struggling with this thing, but now I think I have gotten the thing. With such a short time in an organization that is moving faster than the fast speed, I think we need to kind of tamper what we are thinking and the critical thing, our criticism of what is happening and not happening. It takes a lot of work to create a cohesive team and a long time of working directly on those issues that you are raising yesterday. They are all very clear, and as I attempt to do my metaphor, and you can correct me if I'm wrong this time, I think you will be able to appreciate a lot actually about where we are, and then also see now the hard work ahead of us is natural growth. Rachel yesterday asked, does it make a difference how old the thing is? Madam, GRIC is from 2020, right? Or 2021? Or 20?
Yeah, it is 2020.
Yes.
It's small one.
2020. Which year are we in?
2025.
April. And you are the youngest group here. Of all these people who are here, the other people have double the time. So I just wanted that to sink in before I read, because 5 years is not a long time. And then in that 5 years, there is 2 people who have been there for 4 years. So 5 was Wangui, then 4 was our friend here, our achiever here, and then we had 3 there, 3 years, and just above 1. And the other people, it's just 1. So that is very sobering. And you, I know you worked as a consultant, but you have been there now full time, less than a year. And when you are a consultant, plus the fear of not wondering whether you are going to please them ever, that is just, it's like thing to carry. So that is why I wanted us to discuss, because last night I kept thinking, so how do I solve this puzzle in my head? So what I'm going to say here, I want to read it very slowly, and I want you to take it with caution, and then first seek to correct it. So my understanding is that you really want to increase and improve your efficiency, and really be able to have systems, operational systems and communication systems that enables you to move fast in the great work that you are doing with so many people there, with so many departments and so many things moving at a fast pace, and still be alive after doing it. That is what I had yesterday. I hope that is a good capture of what I had. And so we are going to talk about a topic. We are going to talk about the metaphors. We are going to talk about the objectives today. And I wanted to start by saying, for those of you who are coming in, who have not done this thing before, only 2 people, and then Irene was there for a short while and then left. Metaphors are a good way of capturing yourself when you are working on doing things. They are very powerful way. The first group was busy bee, and then the beaver something. That was a busy beaver actually. Your beavers, and then But what seemed to come out yesterday here, I will explain. So those objectives now make them like when you talk about the metaphors help you when you are involved in an act to be asking, am I a busy beaver or am I this? I think you found that very useful. We were not sure we should be doing metaphor because this is our training, but we didn't know whether it was applicable here. So let me start with what I think you say, and here is where you can completely dispute me. So the topic, I think, is something like this: strengthen internal systems, enhance communication, and foster a resilient organizational culture so that we can empower CBOs to deliver quality education for vulnerable children. Let me see whether I can project that. In case you want to see it. Because we need to go slower. So we are here. One minute. Let me. We go to participants. Right. Okay. Share. your effectiveness and create a better working environment. But that is what is missing here. That is what is missing here. So, and it may be a chicken and egg thing. So the systems for me was the structures. It felt like you're really feeling pain around the systems. And communication is the oil that turns the engine. If it's not there, the thing doesn't move. So it may be semantics, but what do you want? How do you want to say this? And what would you change, Irene? Or what would you foster? What do you want us to do? How do you want us to write this?
I think for me, the arrangement really will not play much impact. But in terms of emphasis, I feel culture will carry the communication bit because it is the way of us doing things. And if we're able to align the culture, it is going to influence on how we're going to communicate, and also strengthening the different aspects that are leading to the communication failure that we are experiencing at the moment. And also in terms of the system being in place, we'll be able to foster that collaboration and that particular an environment that is really enabling everybody to thrive. Yeah.
Okay. So you think the systems are there?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
they're not there. They're not there. They need to be strengthened.
Okay.
To be
Okay.
effective. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Bernard.
To me, the Namibian is okay. I won't change anything about it. It's just everything that you need to work on.
Okay. Yes, I'm looking at Collins.
I think for me, once the structures of the systems are okay, they will sort all these issues, communication and culture. Because the structures define what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to communicate. So yeah, I think it's okay as you put it, but maybe just emphasis on structures and systems.
Okay, Lillian.
Thank you. This statement is good. Thank you. And then on the issues, on the arrangement, it really doesn't matter. But maybe what we can emphasize on enhancing communication, like what type of communication do you want to enhance? Clear communication, like that's specific. And then on the last statement, so that we can empower CBOs to deliver quality education, because now when we capacity build the CBOs, they either go to the women groups, to the youths, or to the schools. And then through these structures, or through these community structures, it's where now the education now comes in. So I don't know this to deliver, instead of to deliver quality education, could we have something like to improve access to quality education? Because now they are working with the youths, with the women groups, and the goal is for these community structures to be champions for education. So instead of delivering quality education, it sounds like improving access.
Okay. And then you said for there, you should say partners instead of NGO, CBO. And that, Teresa?
The statement is okay, the arrangement is okay, and it has captured everything that we talked about the structures, the communication, and good thing it is addressing our internal challenges and also addressing how we will also be able to work with the partners in the community.
Okay. Wangui.
I think I'll just add to what the team has said.
Mm-hmm.
One, an organization cannot run without systems, right? And we are saying we have systems. I don't know what's going on.
We had that problem yesterday as well. Are you done? Are we okay? Okay, go ahead, Wangui.
Yes. Having strong systems that can stand the test of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think why we brought up the whole thing about systems, efficient systems, is because personally, I could be wrong, I see a lot of tension around that, right?
Mm.
And a lot of back and forth, and we are saying this leads to inefficiency, right?
Mm.
So for me, systems too strong, starts too strong, and as somebody said, the arrangement of what comes first, here is, for now, maybe may not be a very big deal. Then communication is key, and I think it's one of the areas that we really marked out yesterday. And then, narrowing down to culture, organizational culture, it is broad, right?
Mm.
And it is true, we can look at what? Communication and culture, and at times it helps to break things down into smaller pieces so that we're able to zero down to what is so critical. And when I look at organizational culture, I look at it from the perspective that one is relational, right?
Mm.
And that piece of having those, neat, relationships where there is, that trust, there is that openness, there is that empathy, there is that, caring. When I see Irene, or I see Sam, or Rachel, or Bernard, Lillian, Teresa, Collins, I see you more than just a person who works at GRIC, but first as a human being, right? Who has all these, apart from the personality type, vulnerabilities and what, and understanding you from where you are coming from, right?
Mm.
If I may give an example, for example, Irene has a baby. If she's going to the field, I just don't see her as Irene, but I also see her as Irene who has a child, a young woman. When I see Teresa, I just don't see her as Teresa. I also see her as a mother who needs to take her kids to school. I see Sam as a father of, two sons. You see what I mean? Looking into that very deeper self and having that, connection and having a relationship, caring about each other. If I really care about you, I'll make sure that I do what needs to be done so that I don't hurt you, because I don't want you to have sleepless nights. You see what I mean? That's how I'm looking at it, that human connection. And the question to us is, have we gotten there yet, or is something that we need to foster? And it's something that Christine emphasized today. I left my house there when I get into that door in the office and pretend I'm in the office, I'm a completely different person. Does that work? But do we also think through what we are saying? What is happening at home outside there also affects work, how you work and how you relate with people. So it's, to me, culture, builds also around, all that. That's what one would call the soft piece, and it matters.
Mm.
It matters. Though of course we always say that should not compromise what we are delivering, but it matters. Back to you, Joyce. That's how I'm looking at it. So for me, the two pieces make a lot of sense, and then the last one CBOs. Yeah, but who are the primary? Is it the CBOs, other stake partners? Partners may be anybody, like the donors, whatever. It's just something we need to unpackage. Who is the primary stakeholder that is at the forefront that we need to strengthen, and the rest wrap around that? Why education? Even when we are dealing with women, when we are dealing with girls, what's the primary goal? Ni kufikia huyo mtoto aende shule na asome. Is that our understanding? I'm just throwing things there. I've said enough. I shall come.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want thank you. I want you to read what you are wording somewhere. I want you to read that so that I can write it down.
Oh, I had just played with the words, but it's to foster an organizational, a resilient organizational culture. There's strengthen internal systems, enhance communications, so that we can empower CBOs to deliver.
Okay,
Well,
to foster a resilient organizational culture,
strengthen internal systems,
strengthen internal systems,
and enhance communication.
and don't try very fast. Enhance communication,
So that we can empower our partners.
so that we can empower our partners
To deliver quality.
to deliver
Quality education.
I want to see what she said. To improve access to quality education. What do you think about that? Is it to improve or to deliver quality education? Because empower CBOs to deliver, they don't. But to improve or to, what is it there?
Improve access.
Yeah, I think, are you okay if we say to improve access to quality education. Okay. So I'm just trying to so it is to foster a resilient organizational culture. We could also just say to foster a culture. No, it is everything that we can say. That is Kikamba now.
It's okay, you don't change too much. Enhance the way you have it, don't remove the resilient organizational culture.
So to enhance or to foster? I have to foster a resilient organizational culture, strengthen internal systems, and enhance communication so that we can empower our partners to improve access to quality education. How does that feel like? I think that captures all the things we said.
Can I ask a question, Joyce?
Huh?
Can I ask a question of that?
Uh-huh.
At times my brain works against me, so I'm aware. I'm aware that I at times I'm asking myself, and maybe this is more to the team. What is because I think foster is enhancing.
Mm.
Do we have a relational culture as it is? Are we fostering or are we building? Because and apologies if I'm wrong. And it's my brain working against me a lot of times. When you say foster in measurements, I'll come and say there was a baseline of 4%. Then at midline you should get maybe 2%, or whatever percentage you'll be. But I'm asking myself, what if in the darkness I ambushed Collins and told him, what is the GRIC culture? Or Rachel, or Irene, or myself? I don't know if we need to build a culture, a resilient culture, or are we fostering a culture that exists?
I actually like build, but I don't know, what do you think? I think there's some there, but the building, it means it is a continuous. Or what do you want to say? Yes, Bernard.
I think what Sarah said is you can start by first stating our culture.
Sorry?
Stating our culture so that we all know it and relate to it, then build on it.
Okay, does it not exist?
I think
Yes, Wangui.
Yeah, there is something because everywhere there is some, culture is how done this way. And I'm wondering if the word cultivate,
Uh-huh.
to cultivate a culture being given. I example, in Swahili, when you are cultivating, you are always there removing the weeds,
Yeah, sure.
right? Yeah.
Ah.
And nurturing
Mm.
is to nurture, it is to cultivate.
Okay. Does anybody object to cultivate thing? I think it sounds quite.
It's beautiful because it's ongoing work.
Okay, yes. When you are cultivate, you are removing the weeds.
Mm.
Okay. That I like that. To cut.
I wanted to withdraw.
Yes, please.
I wanted to withdraw partners and make it as CBOs, because I think everything we are doing, the CBO is a center. So now again, if we look at partners, we'll start asking who are our partners.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that, our plan is, we know it's the grassroots organizations. Then now we have all these other factors. If it's government, if it's other organizations, but the target is, we're all headed to the CBO. So I was going to say to withdraw
Going
the
back to
partners,
CBOs.
but I don't know how the team, I think as part of the works, which I'm not sure. Yeah.
No, it's okay to go back and forth. Should we just say CBOs? There's many other partners as well, but who is going to help you get to your mission?
I think CBOs,
CBOs.
Mm-hmm.
all the
Or
contribute.
grassroots organizations. We can either have grassroots organizations or CBOs, either,
Mm-hmm.
if we go for that.
Does that capture the youth?
Yes, because it's
Okay.
Does.
So do you want us to say grassroots organization?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. It is in your name.
I have a question in terms of the term vulnerable children, because we have a unique catchment in terms of the children that we really want to intervene, and I know we use the word the underserved children. I don't know if underserved and vulnerable, they are interrelated. Which one will be able to suit well? Or the far left behind, I don't know, between those three, which one will go to fit well?
What word speaks to you guys? Underserved, vulnerable, and the third word I think was
Far left behind.
Furthest
Huh?
back.
farthest left behind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man. Those sounds like our words.
Huh?
Those sounds like Greek words.
Vulnerable, all of them.
I think we use underserved. I think with the underserved more.
Okay.
But I don't know what the team thinks.
Underserved. Okay, so let me read this thing. We see how it sounds. To cultivate organizational culture, strengthen internal systems, and enhance communication so that we can empower our grassroots organizations to improve access to quality education for underserved children. Is that okay?
Yes.
And we can change this. I mean, we are not stuck with it. But does this now capture what we want to say? Going one, going two, done. Yes, Bernard.
I would say vulnerable children in underserved communities.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody, Bernard is saying vulnerable. Doesn't vulnerable actually put them down? You are talking about their condition.
But if it's the community is underserved already, the children are also, yeah.
Okay, so you want us to say, okay, guys agree.
In underserved communities. So
And
if we say vulnerable children only in underserved, then we leave these other children.
okay. So to improve access to quality education for underserved. Colin, can you complete the sentence?
For underserved
Huh?
community children, for children in underserved communities.
Underserved communities.
Yeah.
But really,
So we do vulnerable.
I am waving at her.
She's running away.
How can you run away from me? I'm coming back to deal with you there. Good to see you. Okay, so let's finish here so that we can move. We have so much to cover and we only have an hour. Huh?
Joyce, maybe follow up on the Bernard's feedback. And these are things we keep changing. If you came to me and talked about underserved, the first question that comes into my mind is underserved by who? You know? And these words we keep changing associably depending on the audience. Right, isn't it? But whichever will do, yeah, we can move on.
So should we say vulnerable children?
I think underserved.
How many are for underserved?
We don't have both, we have vulnerable children in underserved communities. But they're two different.
Time to choose.
Underserved.
Can you live with that for a while, Bernard?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Now
So-
we move on.
Okay, so it is to cultivate organizational culture, strengthen internal systems, and enhance communication so that we can empower our grassroots organizations to improve access to quality education for underserved children. Okay, so now, is this something we can do in 6 months, or are these too many things? Are we tricking ourselves here? Or do the things work in concert? I don't know exactly. You just tell me. It's just a question that crossed my mind because it is. We are talking about having internal communication systems, enhanced internal systems. Isn't communication one of them? But anyway, I think communication we have to mention. Everybody was talking about it a lot, and and I was wondering whether we should even be saying to build, whether we should just only do communications, but whether that will solve all the problems, or we should just, for now, we leave it like this. Okay, so I see people maybe agree. Okay, so we will revisit if we need to.
Okay.
Or if somewhere along the way, this is a flexible thing, if somewhere along the way we find that this is a bit hard to swallow, then we can. Okay, so now before I go to objectives, I wanted to talk about current way of being. Where are we now? And where are we now? I was saying it is a young oak tree. And this is ideal metaphor for a growing organization that is full of potential, but is still developing, which is full of potential, but it is still growing, developing. Just like the young oak, the non-profit or the organization, a solid foundation, but needs time, care, and nurturing to fully grow and become resilient. So this, I can talk more about this young oak tree, or should we be saying another tree? But the thing with the oak tree is that the roots, that is the thing that makes the furniture completely durable furniture. So it goes deep. But when it is young, it is still getting its roots down. And it can be swayed, and the wind and the elements and the whatever do it. And while those things are coming, they are actually helping strengthen it. But the oak tree will be feeling the pinch. You think that that storm that is coming is going to carry whatever, or a fire comes and takes the leaves. But because the roots are deep. So why I chose this is because I thought about your own strong program. You have a strong program that is deep-seated in the communities, and it is working. But you only have been here for 5 years as an organization, and almost a half of you have not been here even for a year. So you don't build teams with everybody being new. It takes time to gel. And then some systems are working, others need to do. I am just, like we do have to explain what we mean about culture, but there's culture there. We know it is communication and systems, and you know which ones. So so it sounds like the program itself has deep roots that are anchoring it. You know what you are doing, you have established, and you said that in the last coaching that you it's not about that. And so you have these deep roots that anchor the organization, and you also have a strong mission and a committed team. So although the team may be small, it has potential for growth. So a clear mission, strong foundation of values, which you, I think, talked about yesterday, but it is still in its early stages. Its ability to grow depends on proper nurturing and support. These are the words that really caught my attention, and then the environment, the growing in the right environment. These oaks thrive on very fertile soil, and they need sunlight and they need water. So this is what makes the thing grow. So if the organization has the right resources and support, community support, and a motivated team, which I think you are, that provides the environment for growth. So, they're saying that for the thing, the trunk is thin and the branches are just beginning to form, pointing towards the sky, symbolizing how the organization is developing its internal structure and expanding its program. I think that is you. So GRIC is still building its internal systems and defining its program. The groundwork for future expansion is being laid, but there is still much work to do. So this oak tree, when it is so young, it is vulnerable to wind, drought, or pests, and it doesn't yet have the strength to withstand harsh conditions. So while this is a successful outfit, it still is vulnerable to external challenges and other things. What do you think? And here I'm really open. Do you have another metaphor that represents you and is better than this one?
I like that one. I like the way the tree, I can actually see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because first the soil is super fertile, so that when it was burst, it picked up, and there was sunlight and it shot up, and the branches are out, and then but the trunk, which is carrying all this weight, now needs to. The fertilizer down here now could be reusing because it went up so fast. So now the trunk needs
there needs to be more, fertilizer, a boost of that fertilizer.
And strength, as it is beaten by the wind, back and forth, it's going deeper down. And so the challenges are just a thing that happens with natural growth, but if you can't withstand that, this thing was saying that an oak tree has what it takes, but the one has to do the work. Any, you can tell me if
I think we are the oak tree because the young oak tree, because as GRIC grows and at times there are storms, we innovate. So for me, innovation is the roots going down. So I wouldn't think of a better metaphor, So it's just as the storms come, we always come back and innovate around an issue that come around. So I'm equating innovation to the roots going deeper so that the tree does not fall.
So getting stronger. And this whole thing about needing care, it's an organization that is growing, is still growing, and it needs care and the resources to become a strong, resilient, and long-lasting force for good. So the caring, so it says that the metaphor highlights both excitement of early accomplishments and importance of strong foundations for future successes. And I think that is, I don't know, for me it was calling your name.
True.
It is to nurture, the foundations are strong.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I think our culture is actually strong. I mean, even just, the vibes of the people in this room, when I say good people, so already, and you see, culture is about who am I, what are my values, So I'm just thinking the systems are actually the ones now which need to carry all these different values and make a good setting for them, so that now all these different values have a place of just now becoming, and so becoming an entity based on that.
Okay. Any comments on this? We can just say we will try it for now, and if we think we need to change it, we will change it. Okay. Angui, are you okay with the young oak tree?
I love trees.
I know that.
You know that.
But now,
And I love nature. And roots.
okay.
All the reasons. So we are on board.
So I want to confess that I got the new way. What kept me up a long time last night was the current way. So the current way is there because I wanted us to project the positivity of what is happening, but at the same time point to the spots that are there and the communication and other challenges that exist. So I don't know whether you see the same way, but I thought the new way, I wanted some natural stuff. I said a well-nurtured garden. And this represents a healthy, thriving organization. It represents careful cultivation of resources, skills, relationships, and systems that allow growth, stability, and productivity. This thing is full of healthy and thriving plants that have been carefully chosen, planted, and tended to. Each plant is given the right environment, nutrients, and attention it needs to grow strong and vibrant. So this is where we are thinking like a well-nurtured organization as employees are like the plants. The organization invests in talent, providing training, development opportunities, and supportive work environment. People are given resources, feedback, and guidance they need to grow, improve, and succeed in their roles. Just as a gardener attends to each plant's needs, a great leader nurtures the development of each individual, fostering a culture of growth and continuous improvement. And one of the things that this thing will have is healthy systems. A well-nurtured garden is rich, fertile, and full of life, providing the foundation for plants to thrive. It's regularly enriched and well-maintained. I would not write all these things, but I want you to see where I'm going. And then another aspect of it is collaboration and community. So the plants are carefully spaced to ensure they receive adequate sunlight, water, and air, but are also positioned to complement each other. So, what do you think about and they have a clear purpose and clear vision and a clear purpose, and then I think that's it. Overcoming challenges and adapting, recognizing. Anyway, what do you think?
I'm a type 3, so I keep reminding myself not to speak, but
You are?
I'm a type 3 and I keep reminding, Jason taught me to sit on my hands. But I think I'll give it a go. I think I'm trying my hands at farming right now. And there's nothing as beautiful as a garden, a well-nurtured and tended garden. And I'm looking at it, I think the part that I go with the most is carefully selected, nurtured, and allowed space to grow. GRIC being an innovation working, you look at the age, the average age is quite young. So this young oak tree, as it grows into a garden, will need that nurturing. All of us will need nurturing, spacing, care to get into the garden. So I think that's where, if we hit that garden, we'll be a happy lot, I think.
Okay.
People are thinking so intensely.
I'm just remembering, you said sitting on your hands, and I'm thinking you don't even may have opinions. For every something you say, I'm like, but then you don't even know there's a bamboo. I know about that small bamboo. I don't know so I'm like, stop it, Rachel, you don't have to sit.
No, there is no need to sit here. It is just us. And we celebrate trees. You don't have much to complain about. 8 is sitting here. And the 3 ones. I don't think there's innocence here.
I'm in good company.
Maybe just to add to Sam's feedback, a good garden produces fruits, is productive. It feeds, others, and I think that is what, we are looking at. A productive organization that also feeds, others, working with those grassroots, organizations. It's also beautiful to look at and admire upon. We want to go to them rather than visit. So it is a very, very strong metaphor.
Okay, thank you.
Powerful is the word.
Good. Anybody who doesn't like this to be a well-watered garden, a well-nurtured? The nurture word is what caught my, this one came very easily, I have to be honest. But I also love trees. And you go to a garden that is well taken care of, And you just want to sit there and close your eyes and feel the place. But it is a lot of work to get there. It doesn't come by, but that is where we are striving and where we are trying to go. You know, if you dream of another metaphor that is better, I would be very happy. So, I want now to talk about objectives. We are making good progress, although we are behind, but this is okay. And these objectives may have changed depending on what. So the first one is align and strengthen policies, structures, and overall organization. To ensure growth and stability. And I'm just wondering whether that is first or the next one is first. But let's just say for now, no order. That is one. Align and strengthen policies. Because you have them, policies and structures, and overall organization to ensure growth and stability. So what do you think? To get to that tree that we are talking about, is this a viable thing to do?
Yes, I think it is a viable thing to do.
Mm.
We align the policies that we have, then we will be able to get to that garden. And also once we strengthen the structures,
Mm.
and also, I don't know how to improve this, but in case we add another policy, then we also need to align it to the existing policies.
Mm-hmm. So can you put that in words? I have align and strengthen policies and policies, structures, and overall organization to ensure growth and stability. Wangui, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking maybe adding systems, structures and systems, right?
Yes, I have. Okay.
Go ahead in
Strengthen
that.
structures and
Systems.
systems. Okay.
Mhm.
And the systems. We could also just stop and say align, strengthen policies, structures, and systems. And just stop there.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering, where is the place, but maybe I'll listen to the rest of the other things.
Sorry?
I was just wondering, where is the place for practice? Or maybe, but I'll listen to the other points you have, because maybe the culture is.
You listen to the other things,
Yeah.
but now what we shall be doing is now building practices. Will be the coaching is now agreeing on. So what does that mean? So we pick one system. What practice would make that happen? We practice it for 3 weeks, and then come back to see whether it is bringing the change to that big picture. Or did you have something else in mind?
No, I think that's all right, because
Yeah.
I was thinking align, we would say
Oh.
align and strengthen policies, systems and structures to ensure growth and stability. Then I thought to myself, okay, so then now we have the things guiding us. Would
So
there be anything stopping us from practicing them? You know, I think I just got a little picture of like, is the problem that we don't have them, or is it that we don't practice? Are we practicing the ones we have? So it's just a little, but I think that then will be captured in the culture of the organization,
The aligning is where you will be checking
the systems.
the systems, whether they are working or whether they work, or whether there's something that is non-aligned. So I think the practice is implied there. I don't know what you all think. Okay, so align and strengthen policies, structures, and systems overall, systems to ensure growth and stability. Is that good? Align and strengthen policies, structures, and systems to ensure growth and stability, or to ensure growth. Okay. We can also stop at systems. I wouldn't be upset by that.
So that we don't qualify.
Huh?
So that we don't qualify the objective.
Yeah, we can do that, or just say to align, strengthen policies, structures, and systems to ensure growth and stability. Okay, any going once, going two? Gone. Okay, next one is to create clear and open communication channels, both internally and externally, to build trust and alignment. So the 1 and 2 are chicken and egg thing. But I thought for communication we need to specifically mention it, and it is the one we will be using to align the systems and the structures. So it can either come first or just stay there. Anybody?
The voice reads good, and I'm just wondering, the first verb, instead of create, could we go for enhance?
Okay. Great. I like that too. Anybody, if anything is said and you are objecting, please just say, I like that word, but you don't have to like it.
I think it's because we have some communication going on,
Yeah.
but it may not be so good. So enhancement is taking, in my opinion, from one level to the next.
Great. Okay. And the third one is improve the speed and effectiveness of decision making and decision making and implementation to ensure that plans are carried out efficiently and on time. That's what I heard yesterday. Improve the speed and effectiveness of decision making and implementation to ensure that plans are carried out efficiently and on time. I think that will remove a lot of your angsty feelings of that we are taking forever to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But, any opinions about this?
I think this is beautiful because two things for me. It is also the speed of decision making and implementation of the decision made.
Mm.
Because I could make a decision then it's not implemented.
Mhm.
So I think if, for me, this is the speed and effectiveness of decision making and implementation. I think that bit is really nice. That decisions are made and then they are implemented.
Absolutely, and that moves the needle from a thinking
Mm-hmm.
organization to action oriented. Because we said we are stuck around thinking and thinking because of the personality tools that we know. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
critical important. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So, we really have covered the animal part, the biggest part of this thing. It is, we have the topic, we have the metaphors, and with the last group I wrote the why, but I think the why now is not something we need to restate. It's there. And now we have the objectives. So we can talk a little bit about the next, so what does this all mean? What are we going to do? Because one for the next steps is that I'm going to rewrite this thing and send it to you guys to still look. We are going to be living with this thing just to make sure it is there. So for the new people, what is coaching? We talked about it yesterday, but we need to talk about it here and also now talk about the timings. So immediately we are agreed on this thing. If I send it to you, the offer, it is coming with something called self-observation exercise. And that self-observation exercise is for you just to look at what do you do actually? What is happening? You don't change anything. You just look at between Monday and Friday next week. What is going on? How are you communicating with each other? Where do you see gaps? Without judgment, you know? What systems are you seeing? What do you mean? How does it, if you are to put a face onto that thing, how would it look like? So it's self-observation is for awareness. So what were we talking about? What is it? And now when we meet, we are going to be discussing what did you find? And that now forms the basis of us starting. We call them cycles of development, but we don't want to use that terminology. We just want to call them, I call them practices. What are transformational practices that you are trying to make? And so you as a team, what do you need to do to be able to enhance communication? And this is based on what you, after you are observing what you actually saw happens in real life, where all these frustrations are coming from, and if it is decision making, what stalled, what moved, what, don't try to correct it. That's not the purpose now. Because then from there, we are going to agree. What is the biggest elephant in the room, and how do we start? If we move this thing, are several things able to move? And that is when we will decide, should we start with communication? Should we start with the decision making? Should we start with the systems inside the place? And so we will do 6 of those, is it 6 or 5 of those practices. And that now starts to showcase what is changing, what is, where are we going? Because this coaching is for 6 months and it's not long enough to make the changes. But it should have made enough changes to enable you to really have the courage to continue putting those things in place. And then now you continue to water the thing, you continue to prune it, you continue to cut the pieces that are bothering you in that young thing. If you think one side is bending too much, you come and put a tree there to hold it up. Huh? And then, by September, when we meet, we will actually be able to be saying, this moved, this didn't, and this is our next move. Because the work is not ending with the end of the coaching. So that is one part of it. And in fact, you guys are right on with the organizational transformation map, because you are looking at where are the gaps. You are already identifying the gaps. And the gaps that will not have been met are the ones where you will choose 2 things or 3 over the next year that you will be working on, that you will continue to work on. I will be somewhere behind the scene but it will basically be your CEO who will be leading the staff. So that is now how the next steps would look like. If you take the thing I gave you this afternoon, this is my gift and my labor of love, like the other map. Please take one for Wangui tomorrow. And I will send you the online one. I just don't know where it is and I won't look for it now. But Wangui, it is that map of the coaching thing. We have simplified it and laminated it. And this third cohort is so lucky. I'm so lucky. They will tell you the program is completely different, right? Cohort 1 and cohort 3, the difference is very big, but I hope it is an improvement, because we took seriously what you have told us. So, so the practices are the magic in this thing. And now we are proved actually over the last two cohorts. Those people who took their practices seriously are talking a very different thing right now, because things moved. And so we want to strengthen this oak tree. We want to make it the celebrated oak tree in the place. I was thinking about Muhumo tree, but I don't know enough about it to write it here. But I know a lot from reading the oak tree, and I can see what it does. So we will be able to look at what has changed at the organizational level and the way we work with each other. And that is going to be the organizational transformation, the continuation. Because there is you, and then there is those who are behind you. But then the change begins with me. So the two things that we want to have at the end of that process is this organizational thing and individual. We never asked for that before. What is your personal plan? If you remember how we went through yesterday meticulously around, if it is not happening to you, it will not happen with you. Huh? If it is not happening with you at all, in you, it will not happen with you. You can't you can't give what you don't have. So we will also be having an individual action plan, but that will be just the next 2 or 3 steps. What is it that you want to change? Moving blah, 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 like that. And then I am supposedly hanging around for a year after that. But most likely you won't see much of me, only if you choose to see me, or you ask, or you want some time with me, then I'm open. And if in your individual plan you are struggling with a practice, or something in you, just you need to talk about it, just let me know. I will spare some time, so that nobody is stranded. And I don't suggest this, but it may be a good thing for you to pair up with somebody. One of you pair with each other and check each other. So these 3 weeks, and we can keep it with the weeks of the coaching. These 3 weeks, what are you going to change? This is now on your personality. How does that enhance the team? Those are the kinds of discussions with you and your partner. And then within a year you will see how far you have gone. This morning we forgot to introduce Kudo Board. You saw what you call her. Dominica finished early. I think she was just too like this. She forgot that she was supposed to, So you can go and capture the group learnings there. So that when we come to September, you are not now trying to remember what happened in December. And you can actually start right away. What did you learn here? You saw what Christine was doing with you there, is to capture things. You start capturing those things now as an organization, and you can track them, because we are basically meeting once a month. But if you are not doing the practices, it is useless. If you are doing practices, and so if you need help with your practice, you let me know, and I will make time. I'm still here for another 2.5 weeks, We can also, have a call, and all that. I am still working with Sam, here and there when we find time. So the idea is really to get you on your path as an individual, and then you as a team moving, and then really working so hard to remove the weeds in this garden, to give the oak tree a chance to develop and grow. So that will go on until the last day of, I think it is around August 15th, but not September 1. I'm going to show you the schedule now in a minute. Any questions? Do you understand the process or not? Any questions you might have, I would be delighted to answer them. So you are happy?
Yeah.
Okay. So the meeting is every 3 weeks, and so we will agree. I'm looking for the thing now. That as GRIC. Open. Coaching schedule. All right. Where is this? Oh, I need to close some of the open things I can't see here. Just give me a minute. Okay. Why is it? There's too many things open. Okay. Let me make this bigger. So can everybody see? Let me make it a little bit smaller. Okay. So the suggested date, the suggested time is at 4 to 5:30 on Tuesdays. And all the sessions will be on Tuesdays. I don't know what you think. Last time, this group didn't want to meet later in the week. You had said earlier. So if we can do this earlier in the week, then it is, anybody who does not want to do Tuesday at 4 to 5:30. I can also make 3:30 to 4 to 5.
That's
3:30
to 5. We'll have.
So we are saying 3:30 to 5. Everybody is happy with that?
Yes.
Wonderful.
But that's on a Friday.
Huh?
On a Friday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, once a month.
Okay, so the date there is not correct.
The date, we will go there in a minute.
May 23rd.
We will go there in a minute.
It's a Friday, so we do it.
May 23rd is a Friday.
It's a Friday,
Okay, so it is 21st.
20th.
Tuesday is 20th of May.
20th, yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay, I will just put what you say there. Okay, so that is 20th. You have the calendar with you there. Ah, yeah. As long as it is a Tuesday, there is no problem. And June the 3rd,
It's Tuesday.
yeah, I was doing some of these things in my sleep at 2 a.m. July 1,
It's Tuesday.
oh, okay, so I just got the first one. And 22nd, July 22nd,
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, August 12th, and September 2nd.
It's a Tuesday.
Okay, and so the last section 9, which is called completion, will be during celebration summit, 7, 8, and 9th. So please get that date. I'll be repeating this tomorrow, these things tomorrow. But this is now our schedule. We have put there conditions if you want to change the date, how you can help me by letting me know. Okay?
Maybe, Joyce, as soon as you can share it with colleagues, then you can put it on our calendars. He manages that.
I'm actually, thank you.
Once we book them on our calendars, they become part of us.
Collins, I will send it to you this minute. This minute. New. Collins, are you communications? Okay. Okay. Coaching. Schedule. Okay, it is done. And usually within, 36 to 48 hours after we finish the coaching, I would send what because we are co-creating the practices. Because really I don't know what works for you. So once we agree during the coaching we'll review what we learned. And so where do we want to start? What if we fix facts, we'll start moving the other things. So what practice would enhance that? And then, so we discuss it, we agree, I go and I write it, and I write reflective questions. And then I send it to you at least within 36 hours, too late, 2 to 3 days. You have it, then you have it for 3 weeks. And those 3 weeks you are tracking your own individual and the organizational thing, and that one, your own growth, you put in your journal, and then the team and organizational staff goes to the kudo board. It is your kudo board. Yes, it's not a public kudo board, but we wanted to show it to you to see whether you would like it, because we don't want to buy them and find that people don't use them. So I'm going to give Dominica a bit of time tomorrow. That's why she finished early, and then I was not tracking that. I was busy fixing other things. Anyway, so any questions? Any questions? Any concerns? Worries?
the buddies.
Hmm?
The buddy.
The buddies.
The buddies stuff. Do we get to choose our buddies or?
What we are going to do tomorrow is that we will suggest the buddies of, like the trees will go with 3, because if we give you 3, if we give you now, it seemed like it worked with Cohort too.
Okay.
When you are meeting with your personality type, then you are able to discuss openly, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm still doing this. But the main thing is just to laugh about it. And then you can suggest to each other what you need to change. Organizational wise, if you want to do this, together you choose whoever you want to work with. You just need an accountability system. So tomorrow you are going to be in groups of 3. I have still to do that tonight. Put you according to that, and it is going to be random.
Okay.
So you may be selected with somebody in Uganda, whatever, because we also want to cross-pollinate. And there is no, like for you, you are in trouble because you are the only one. 5, there is 2 of you. So I'm trying to think, what am I going to do? And you are so different from Joseph. But no, except the EDs are not part of the body. The EDs are meeting with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Even tomorrow when we meet, I will meet with the EDs, and then we are going to agree on what they want, and they will now buddy with each other. There are 6 of them. They can choose who they want to work with. That also seemed to work last time. And then they are going to get extra coaching for 2 more sessions than the other people, because then the idea is that your ED is going to be the one to carry this work forward. My own role will be really with the EDs in the background. But you, because I am your coach, you have access to me, as long as you need whatever help you need. And if there's anything confusing about your anagram, you know I love that stuff. So, hey, just call. Then we can laugh and talk about it. Because that thing has been so liberating for me. I cannot begin to tell you, because I did the test 3 times, trying to change me. Hey, I wanted to be a 1 or a 5. 2 things. And you can see I'm not like Irene. I'm not quiet. And I actually am not a perfectionist, but I take that back. Now, because I'm studying this anagram thing big time, I am 100% 8. That is horrifying. And I am 93%. There's something we get that we don't show you. It is for coaches. I am 93% 1. And 93.
Okay.
So you can just see the story is bad. And now we have these things we call lines. So my line is to 5 and to 2. But 2 is my stretch. It's very hard for me to go there. So that is my area of growth. But 5 is my my release. So I don't have problems with 5, and that is where my academia comes from. So it's, if you want an extra thing with your thing, we can just sit and I've spent a lot of time on this thing. Because I feel like once I understood that I am a gift, and nobody is going to play what I play, and me, I'm even not the very nice 8. I'm not the social 8, it's a little bit more. I am the SX, and it is not a good. It is good. It's just so different. I'm very focused even with relationships. And I thought I'm so social until your own assessment. Oh, I'm so social. I talk to everybody. I actually don't. I'm very focused on these relationship things. But it has only become more evident as I got older. Because before, the 7 is my wing. So the social butterfly thing, I was doing it. But now because I'm so focused on what I want to live here, I don't have time for that kind of a thing. And I can isolate in a way that shocks me. And COVID is what revealed that. Because I should be very bothered that I'm alone. No, I don't mind. And then I can read until I forget that I need to eat. So you see, you start to, and before it was like, well, why do I do this stuff like this? Now I know. So we can talk a little bit, and there's a third thing called archetypes. And that one I'm trying now to understand. I'm going to school as we speak on this stuff, this Enneagram thing. The archetype, there are 3 types that actually come together to form the thing. So there's different levels and more depth, but you don't need to know all that. But as a coach, I need to understand that so that I can be able to tell without you telling me what you are. And when we individually coach, we don't tell people. We don't do Enneagram usually, although me now I'm really using it. But before, where I went to school, they don't encourage you to do it. They want you to work with the person until you discover it. But you see, you could be wrong. Just like the types could be wrong. So just keep watching. If you don't think this applies to you, it doesn't. Maybe only you know you. Only you know whether this is true, and only you can cheat that machine. But I've gone there very clearly, say, I will not cheat. I will just be honest. Ha ha. This last one is the one that said 100%. I felt very ashamed by the thing. So, we have been here for 2 days. How are you doing? Did you hear? Did you learn anything? What is your takeaway before we disperse? Is there something you would like to say? We have also talked a lot of things this afternoon. Where are you? And what are you feeling? What fears do you have? And this one, everybody is going to share. So if you get rid of it fast, you have to get used to my humor. Okay? Sure. No offense meant.
Sure. Just I think to me, that thing of a leader, the organization, the communities, that really scares me in a nice way. That if I get it wrong as a leader, I mess up the organization. Then I mess up the communities. So there's a near sacred thing in being a leader. So decisions I make or I don't make have not an effect on me as a person. I mean, I'm okay living with my own shortcomings, but knowing that these shortcomings transcends myself into where I serve, and most importantly, into the communities that I believe I owe something, is quite scary. So it reminds me to always try check myself. Of course, there will be back and forth here and there, but I'm really reawakening the fact that it's not about me anymore. What I do wrong transcends ultimately those children and youth. All right.
Thank you.
For me, I think it has been a moment of really thinking and reflecting on how each and everything is fitting to each other, and also the bit of how we've been able to develop the topic and really going down and able to come up with objective what you want to achieve at the end of the coaching. And I'm looking at myself, what role do I have to play to make sure that I'm going to be part of the story of making it a success, and looking forward to how we're going to practice it and being intentionally be able to each and every time evaluating how far we have been and how we can be able to keep track of the steps that we've been able to achieve so far.
Thank you.
For me, it's keeping an open mind, and but I'm excited because I'm happy in the sense that at least some of the things we've been saying are what we are confirming, so that means we're also on the right track as an organization. So I think for me it's just that excitement of what will it look like, the end of this
Mm. Mm. Thank you.
For me, today was my highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Part of listening. I was not sure I was able to talk for 4 minutes
Sorry?
to someone.
Can you?
I'm saying today was my highlight,
Mm.
and I was not sure I was going to make it past 4 minutes talking to someone on challenges, but I did it. The part of listening was being brain, listening with the heart. That was my highlight.
Mm.
And I know this would take more days. We could have stayed here longer. There is a lot to cover on the organizational problems that we want to solve. I thought it would have taken more time. Thank you. I think my key takeaway is the enneagram. I think it's a cheat code. Like I've been struggling to find my power place, and I think knowing my personality and looking back on the decisions I've been making and how I relate to other people, I think it's a personality thing. You know, you can be, maybe someone does something and you're mad, but once you realize it's their personality, you understand that it's a personality thing and it's not personal.
Mm.
So I think my biggest takeaway is the enneagram and understanding it and being able to implement it in my personal life and otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Okay, for me, my biggest takeaway for this session, one, it was very eye-opening and engaging, and really get to learn a lot. And it was also encouraging to see that other organizations were also on the same, almost a similar journey to us on this journey of self-discovery, and that was encouraging.
Okay, thank you.
My takeaway for today, and I'm shocked because Bernard has said the exact thing, and we are sick, so but it was the part of listening. It never occurred that I could just sit down, talk when somebody is listening to me and they're not responding a whole 4 minutes. I remember I was asking her, are the 4 minutes over? And then she said, no, please continue talking. And that was the hardest thing, because I had to formulate now things to tell her. So I cannot even remember what I was telling her, because I had to come up with stuff to keep on telling her. But I learned it is good to listen, to understand, not to listen to respond. Because most of the times we will listen, and at the back of your mind, you're already coming up with something that you will respond. But it was an eye-opener for me. And being a mother, now I can even sit down and listen to my babies and try to understand whatever they're saying. Same with my colleagues.
Thank you. I really understand that, because me I can talk 10 times that, but it was, it's hard to be, it is the listening for me was there. Anyway, I'm going.
I can only take a deep breath. It's been 2 days of intense reflection. And I'm asking myself, what is this I got myself into? Is this really what I wanted to do? Really? It's with a light touch. And what gives me a lot of hope and a lot of determination to even stretch my courage further. 2 days, the team around the table, these young, energetic change makers. With the skill sets, they are there, they are committed. You give me a sense of hope and feeling that they're gonna keep on moving. That's one. Then two, thinking through what we have accomplished. I've never sat and thought, really, it's just within a short time frame, and here we are. It's something to celebrate. And if each one of us commits to the change, changing as individuals, I start with myself as one goal. Each one of us, we give each other some light. That kind of when it gives light to others, does the light go? No, you don't, doesn't mean anything. So it's that supportive, creating that supportive organization, environment, that strong culture that binds us together. It's a goal, it's a big goal. Far in the horizon, but can we do it? I have hope, I have that we can do it. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you. So thank you, everybody. For me, it's, seeing cohort 3 and where we are with the cohort 3 and the changes that have taken place and what the young people here give me so much hope. You guys are today and tomorrow. And if, I remember, just because when you are standing in front there, you can see everybody. Thinking if even 20 of these 32 people took this seriously, it would have been worth everything. So I am encouraged, I am inspired. This is a very, every cohort is so different. Even the games they are playing, the energizers, the way they are doing it, and the difference between rally members and these last two teams. For me, it's been just a privilege to see the complete, it's really, these guys are crazy, but they are great. So thank you for risking to do this, because for me, it really encouraged me to see so many young people really wanting to try this. And I remember yesterday saying, it wasn't my time. I wish even in my 50s I could have gotten this, but I'm glad that I get to play a small part. So it's been real privilege, and I really felt for you, there's just a very special twist. You really can't see what you can become. You have such audience. Of course, as Sam is saying, responsibility of such magnitude, but nobody can actually sit here and say, what I'm doing is sustainable and it is going to go on after I'm done, except you. So I hope you see your privilege. I hope you see just an opportunity that is waiting to be grabbed by you, and I'm really hoping that you will embrace it. We are on the exit row. Our time is done. Once you hit 60 and the other numbers there, the Bible says to 70 plus 10. Once those things show up, you are really moving. But God willing, you have a long life ahead of you. And I see nothing but hope when I see you. So anything that I can do the next 6 months, we can do. We are just watering the thing. Soon another caretaker is stepping in, and that caretaker is you. So I hope you are going to have a great time. It will be an enjoyable time. It is a little bit whatever in the beginning, but now I feel like I own some, and Kamautu, Wangui, we have no choices. Life just forced us on each other, but it wasn't a hard forcing. So I am very committed to the work that you're doing personally. This is not about jobs. Me, I'm done working. But I believe in you, and I think we can get somewhere. We have gotten somewhere already. I hope you embrace the special space where you are sitting. So hang on to your bootstraps, as they say, because we have work to do. And the Wangui knows this is the thing that I'm going to continue doing when I am finished cohort. When I finish, this is the last cohort. And we don't know what lies ahead, but now we launch the CBO work 2 weeks, a week, 10 days from now. And now, you are playing with those leaders are your leaders. And, sometimes you get tired. And I think I may have said this yesterday. I was talking to a guy working in the those conflict things, and he said, when leaders makes mistake, people die. Hey, this is no small feat. It sobers me and makes me all the more wanting to just do anything and everything. So you are a special instrument for our communities. Don't even take it lightly one moment. So we are about a minute or 2 late, 3 minutes late. We were supposed to finish at 7:30 because we started at 5, around 5-ish. I didn't think we would finish the way we were going there on that topic, but now here we are. I'm dealing with smart head. So thanks for your time and for giving to this and for sitting so long, because we could not exchange you. I had to be in the other team to support to support Christine and Purity. And I hope also those exchange things have been, and take some time in the next 3 days and just take 30 minutes by yourself and think about what has happened here and start writing. We will be talking about journaling tomorrow morning. Start writing. It will change you completely. It is like you are pouring stuff out and it releases you to open yourself up. You have such big, space for growth, but you can block it or open it up. And finally, one of our guys from Raleigh, Kapinga. Do you know how we can't hear?
It's mute.
Huh?
Now I'm back. I had been blocked out, so just I didn't hear what you said, but it is okay.
Mm-hmm. So I was asking you now, do you want to say something?
Having that heavy responsibility of looking after all those videos and the other ones that we work with, we are ready to change as individuals. So asante. And team, I know you have worked day and night as usual. You work day and night. I cannot even, Joyce, I don't even know where this thing gets energy, but I assure this is a working team. These are peace worker bees. So know that I truly appreciate your work on behalf of myself and all those communities, all those, men, women, girls, boys, those children that we serve. And you called good and good for us. You called good and continue to call good things, and it's a blessing. And I want to end this by sharing some good news. I got a call just in this process from IF, Imaginable Futures. It's positive, so one resource is coming and we are thankful. I think that is something to give you a big smile.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Wow.
Congratulations!
Thank you, it's the teamwork.
Yes, and I wanted to say they have done an amazing job here. This conference has been completely flawless. And I just realized we did not introduce them yesterday. Did we? We forgot. But I just want to thank them personally in your presence, because it's not just me. We have had a totally uneventful 2 days. It's gone so well. Everything is so synchronized. It is done to perfection. You know, the perfectionists, they get the work done. The ones, you know, if you want something done, they will get it done. So they have done an amazing job here, and the team support. And, you know, like we don't want to say, but GRIC is imprinted on some people's hearts. And we will continue, and congratulations for imaginable futures, whatever it is. Yeah. So we wish you a good evening, and we are going now to eat and dance. So these people are the hosts, and I am keeping them here, although I know they don't have a dance. That is not their strength, but
we will innovate.
You know. Well, I really I'm waiting for it tonight. I'm waiting for the surprise. Yes, so they are the ones representing Kenya here, but they have done it very well and showcased in a very powerful way how to get the job done. So thank you, and also we will talk later.
Thank you, and can I show off a little? That is Greek. When we touch on anything, we say that it has to be of high quality. So you have seen it now with your eyes.
In full play.
Keep the flag flying high.
In full play. So you rejoice over IFF, and then you also know your team has been showing off here big time. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening. Enjoy the dance. I'll miss that one. Of course, the nice food. You know I love food.
Yes. Go and rest some. I don't know how you are still alive. But thank you for joining us, and thank you for your sacrifice. And, you know I'll see you soon. We'll talk anyway.
We meet tomorrow.
Yes. Kwaheri.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good evening. Enjoy yourself.
Okay, thanks.
I just.
Hi.